Hi, I'm Steve Good and welcome to my Scroll Saw Workshop. I'm out in the shop tonight to put together a quick video to talk about entry holes in your scroll saw projects and the best way to try to hide those entry holes. Now what you see here on this board that I've got in front of me is a series of holes that were drilled with a 1/64 inch drill bit, which is a pretty small drill bit to begin with, and it's typically the smallest you can find in your local hardware stores. But as you can see, when you drill this hole and then insert, in this case, a number 5, this hole was cut with a number 3, a 2-aught, and a number 9 scroll saw blade. And you can see that it's almost impossible to mask those holes no matter how hard you try. Now in some cases where you're doing interior veining to add detail to a scroll saw project, or maybe you're just cutting out a piece that you really don't want that hole to show, it would be nice to have a drill bit that's as small as the blade, and that is where this comes in. What you see here is a miniature drill bit chuck, and in this case I have a number 71 drill bit installed, which is one of the smaller ones you can get. You can install this into your drill press right here, and then you can drill very small holes with it, obviously. Now the miniature drill bits come in sizes marked in numbers, and this is a number 71, and I think I have down as small as a number 57, and the larger the number, the smaller the bit. So when you go to order these, keep that in mind. Now here's the difference that you'll see when you get these miniature holes drilled. I'll pull it down, and here's a series of interior cuts where I think this was a number 68 drill bit, this was a number 69 drill bit, and this was a number 5 blade and a number 3 blade. And you can see right off the bat, without trying to disguise it any at all, I had a much nicer transition from the entry hole to the line. It just looks a lot better. On both of these I didn't try to disguise the entry hole at all. I just drilled the hole and then cut away from it with the blade. On this one over here, I used a technique where we try to disguise the hole by tapering the cut just slightly away from the hole, out just a little bit of distance from the hole, and to try to hide it. So what you do is you go ahead and make your cut out, then you come back in and you just nibble away just to taper it, and that'll again hide the hole a little better for you. Okay. Couple things to keep in mind when you're using these drill bits is that they can be very hard to get the scroll saw blade inserted through them. And so one little technique that you can use, and this is a number 5 blade right here, and this little detail on it is so small that I drew a picture here beside it. What I did is I took this scroll saw blade over to my grinder and I just ground a small point on the end of the blade, and it just takes half a second. You're talking very little time to grind this down. And what that does is gives you a sharp tip that you can insert through these holes to get your blade started, and it makes it a lot easier. Okay, another couple things to talk about with these drill bits is they are very, very small. They're going to break. So when you buy these drill bits, buy them in quantity. Maybe buy 6 or 7 at least of each one, so you've got some backups for when you break them, and again, you will break them. Another thing is you want to buy a pretty good quality chuck because these blades have a real tendency to slip inside the chuck. Once you get this drilled down into some wood, it'll tend to grab onto the wood just a little bit through friction and want to pull the drill bit right out of the chuck. So get the drill bit into the chuck nice and tight, and tighten it down real good. This little knurled knob right here on this one I have is handy to get a good grip on it and really tighten it down tight, because you will break these blades off into your interior holes, and once you do that it's almost impossible to get that little piece of metal out of there, so you want to avoid that at all cost. So buy some quality miniature drill bits, buy a quality miniature drill bit chuck. You can also buy a chuck that's called a hand chuck, which actually has a spiral shaft built into it, and it's designed not to go in your drill press. It's designed to be pushed into the wood, and when you push down on the chuck, it actually spins the bit and can drill some holes that way. And that works pretty good too, as long as you're in fairly thin wood, 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch is best. 1/2 inch, you're really biting off a pretty good task to try to use these blades or these bits in 1/2 inch wood, because you've got such a length of cut there that they tend to want to snap off. So generally I use these on 1/4 inch or thinner wood, but I have used them on thicker woods. The blade or the bits generally come in little tubes like this, and you'll find them numbered. This particular one's a number 71, and that's the smallest drill bit I have, and I think the largest one I have is a number 56. So that's what I was here to tell you about on these miniature drill bit chucks, and I think you can see that this is clearly better than this. Looks much cleaner, much nicer, and when you're doing that finish and detail on a scroll saw piece, that's what you're looking for, is as clean a cuts as you can possibly get. Okay, hope this helps a little bit. I'm Steve Good. Thanks for being here with me at the Scroll Saw Workshop, and we'll catch you next time.